The Black Phone is the latest horror movie directed by Scott Derrickson. It's about a shy 13-year-old boy by the name of Finney Shaw who is being kidnapped in a very creepy basement by a sadistic child murderer who goes by the name The Grabber, played by Ethan Hawke. As Finney is trapped in the basement, he realizes there is a disconnected phone that allows him to communicate with the Grabber's past victims. These victims are determined to help Finney not encounter the same fate as they did. But is The Black Phone the best horror movie of the year so far? Let's find out. Let's boogie on into this spoiler-free review of The Black Phone. Before we get into this review, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you want to watch a guy with really curly hair talk all about horror movies. I mean, it sounds like a good time to me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, while you're down there, do not forget to slash that like button or else I will pay the Grabber to kidnap you.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
The Black Phone is a movie I've been wanting to see for a long time now, ever since I saw the trailer to it last year. I mean, it's a 1970s horror film with Ethan Hawke. What more do you want? I mean, that's just a recipe for success. The Black Phone is based off a novel which shares the same name. The book is in fact written by Joe Hill, aka Joe King, who is the son of who I like to call one of the granddaddies of horror himself, Stephen King. In preparation of this review, I actually listened to the audiobook of The Black Phone because I am a lazy millennial who is allergic to paper. The movie does a great job of bringing the pages of the book to life here. Everything from the gritty 1970s aesthetic to the character plot lines are translated very adequately. Obviously, when you're translating a book to a movie, some things are cut out, some characters are moved around, some things change, but that's a given to fit the construction of a 2-hour movie. The Black Phone has those Stephen King qualities of a group of kids fighting against evil. It's in the same vein of Stand By Me and It. Joe King, his son, definitely was heavily influenced by his father's past work. Stephen King pretty much made the coming-of-age story into horror films very popular. All the things you see nowadays like Stranger Things, and obviously Stephen King's It chapters 1 and 2 are on fire right now. This past pretty much decade has been dominated by coming-of-age movies translated into horror films, and The Black Phone is definitely within that same realm of those types of movies and stories. The performances of the children is amazing, which is something that is very difficult to achieve, especially in a horror movie. Mason Thames and Madeleine McGraw put this movie on their back. They make these stereotypical kids much more interested than they actually should be. Ethan Hawke, who is our antagonist, the Grabber, is really something that nightmares are truly made of. He is absolutely terrifying. It's so cool to see Ethan Hawke play a villain. That's something we don't see very often. It's like a unicorn. It's very rare, and Ethan Hawke just knocks it out of a park. Home run for him in this character. He is so goddamn scary. The Grabber is supposed to represent the local boogeyman or the weird neighborhood guy that your parents don't want you to talk to when you're a kid. The reason why the Grabber is terrifying isn't because of the creepy mask or the crazy performance that Ethan Hawke gives us. It's because he's a relatable villain. Relatable in the sense that this could be a real person. This person could live right next door to you and you would never know it. This isn't some cosmic entity. This isn't some CGI monster. This is a real life thing that is probably happening, unfortunately, every single day. Kids go missing all the time, and sometimes stories like these are so real and so authentic that it's very frightening, and that's what makes the Grabber so effective as this antagonist. I bet you when you walk out of seeing this movie, you're going to be very weary of walking next to vans and large vehicles. Trust me, if you weren't already scared of minivans, you probably will be after you see The Black Phone. Black Phone went deeper, far beyond the traditional scary pop-up monster fears. It went really deep into emotional trauma. It talked about alcoholism, how when a person goes missing, it affects a whole family and a whole community. It's not the traditional slasher that you might think it is from the promotions and trailers to this movie. It has a lot of layers and a lot of depth that I was not expecting. Some minor nitpicks I do have with the film that are just very minor. I think this film is very, very good. I wish Ethan Hawke was in the movie a little bit more. He's sparingly within the movie. He's not as much as a physical presence that I wanted him to be, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They do kind of stick him to the shadows, and he has this type of mystery quality to him, but for selfish reasons, I want to see Ethan Hawke just go crazy and be a child murderer, even though how weird and sick that sounds. I wanted to see it on screen a little bit more, but that's just such a minor nitpick. Also, the logic of parents back in the 70s is just moronic. I mean, if there's a crazy serial killer walking around my community, kidnapping and slicing up these kids, I'm keeping my kids indoors. They're not going outside. You best believe that. It's like parents pre-1990 can't go past their front porch. It's like an invisible barrier, so if your kid goes past your front porch, there's nothing you can do. It's like, oh, you better be back when the street lights come on, son. It's kind of laughable at certain points in the film. It's just like, come on, parents, be better. Come on now. But those are obviously minor nitpicks, and some things have to go along in certain ways in order for the story to progress. If the kids were just trapped inside their house all day, we wouldn't have a movie, now would we? The Black Phone is a thrilling horror movie with great performances, infused with a classic coming-of-age story that just never gets old. I'm gonna give The Black Phone a 9 out of 10. If you're a fan of old-school horror movies from the 70s and 80s and you like those Stephen King coming-of-age stories, I think you'll love The Black Phone. It's a great horror movie. This and Ty West's X are my favorite horror movies of the year so far. And now I ask you, my viewers, are you excited to see The Black Phone when it comes out? Let me know why or why not down in the comment section down below. Let's get a discussion going. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts about this movie. With all that being said, I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.